Most people think money can solve everything. But what if the moment you lose it, you finally understand life? Ethan Cole was the kind of man people admired. At 38, he had everything most people only dream about. A luxury penthouse overlooking Manhattan. A garage filled with cars he barely drove. A bank account that kept growing even while he slept. But there was one thing Ethan didn't have: peace. Every morning, he woke up surrounded by success, but felt strangely empty. One night, sitting alone in his massive living room, he asked himself a question that changed everything. What would I be without my money? And instead of ignoring it, he decided to find out. The next day, Ethan made a decision no one expected. He would live like a poor man. For 7 days, no money, no luxury, no identity. He withdrew nothing from his accounts, left his phone behind, wore old worn-out clothes, and stepped into a world he had never truly seen. Day 1 was a shock. Ethan walked through the same city he owned buildings in, but for the first time, he was invisible. No one greeted him, no one respected him. People avoided eye contact. It was like he didn't exist. That night, he slept on a cold bench in a quiet corner of the city. For the first time in years, he couldn't control his environment, and it terrified him. Day 2 hit harder. Hunger. Real hunger. Not skipping a meal by choice, but not knowing where the next one would come from. Ethan walked into a small store and asked if he could work for food. The owner looked at him and said no. That rejection stayed with him, because for the first time, money couldn't fix it. No hours passed, until finally, an old man sitting outside a small cafe noticed him. The man had very little. Worn clothes, tired eyes. But he looked at Ethan and saw something others didn't: struggle. Without asking questions, the man handed Ethan half of his sandwich. "Take it," he said. "You look like you need it more than me." Ethan hesitated, then took it. That single moment felt more valuable than any deal he had ever closed. Day 3. Something changed. Ethan started observing people differently. He noticed that the poorest people smiled more. They shared more. They helped each other without expecting anything in return. Meanwhile, the richest people he used to surround himself with barely had time for anyone. That realization started to break something inside him. Day 4 and 5 were the hardest. Cold nights, the empty stomach, loneliness, but also clarity. Ethan began to understand something powerful. He had spent his entire life chasing money, but ignored the things that actually make life meaningful. Connection, kindness, presence. Day 6 brought the moment that changed him forever. Ethan met a young boy sitting alone near a street corner. The boy had nothing, no family around, no comfort, but he was smiling. Ethan sat beside him and asked, "Why are you smiling?" The boy shrugged and said, "Because I'm alive. That's enough." Ethan was speechless. Here he was, a man who had everything, learning gratitude from someone who had nothing. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep, not because of the cold, but because of the truth he couldn't ignore anymore. He had been rich for years, but never truly lived. Day 7 arrived. The final day. Ethan walked through the city one last time. But this time, everything felt different. The buildings didn't impress him. The cars didn't excite him, because now he saw what he had been missing all along. People, real struggles, real kindness. At the end of the 7 days, Ethan returned to his old life, his penthouse, his wealth, his status. Everything was still there. But he wasn't the same man anymore. The next morning, Ethan did something no one expected. He didn't chase another deal. He didn't check his profits. Instead, he started giving. Time, attention, help. He built programs to support people struggling like he once did. But more importantly, he changed how he lived. He started calling people he used to ignore, spending time with people instead of money, listening instead of just talking. Because now he understood something most people learn too late. Money can make your life comfortable, but it cannot make your life meaningful. That comes from how you treat people, from how you show up when it matters, from what you give when you have nothing to gain. Ethan once thought being rich meant having everything, but after 7 days of having nothing, he finally discovered what real wealth looks like. And maybe the real question isn't, how much do you have? But who are you without it? If this story made you think differently about success, hit like and subscribe to Wiz Tales Unfolded for more powerful life stories that reveal the truth about life.